Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. When we see a young adolescent, full of life and strange brain chemistry, we're filled with the air of possibility. We think, oh, the places you'll go. But this weird state of brain chemistry that makes us impulsive, moody, and extreme can also sometimes lead us astray. This is the case for all of these teenagers who acted out and then paid the price by getting harsh prison sentences. As we stroll through their crazy stories, why not help us out by subscribing and clicking the bell to be notified of brand new uploads? If you wound up enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up. And before you leave at the end of this video, we have one question to ask. Do you believe these harsh sentences were justified? Let us know in the comments section below.
Number 10. Nicholas Lenzi. Nicholas is a special case on our list, which is why we're going to talk about him first. He's a teen who was sentenced to life in prison, not just once, but twice. His crime? Murdering a police officer when he was just 16 years old. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole at that tender age, only because a death sentence was illegal for minors. After 6 years of going back and forth with appeals, trials, and rulings, his life sentence was upheld.
Order, the judge cited aggravating circumstances, including an escalating criminal history, before he sentenced Lenzi to that second term with no chance of parole.
Perhaps it was because of the long wait, the lack of trust in the system, or just because his attorney wasn't very good. But his reaction was absolutely neutral, seeming more preoccupied with his arm than anything going on around him. It's so bizarre that you can't help but stare as his entire world crumbles around him. Number 9. Anthony Rodriguez. Any teen who sexually assaults a deaf woman in a park bathroom gets zero mercy. Yeah, maybe he was 18 at the time, but he was also on parole, and at no age is a crime like this acceptable. We see here how his teenage brain is truly shocked at getting hit with a 25-year sentence. Rodriguez quickly forgets showing repentance for what he actually did and moves straight to crying and cursing, calling the ruling unfair.
Throw me away. Oh, you do? Throw me away like that.
Number 8. Tony Farmer. From an NBA hopeful to a convicted abuser, Tony Farmer saw his whole life flash before him as he was handed a sentence. It wasn't a life sentence, but it might as well have been, considering he was charged and convicted in his prime. He didn't have his life taken away, but certainly his future. When the judge hands him his fate, 3 years in prison, his face says it all. His mouth agape, he looks to his lawyer for confirmation as if he heard wrong.
In prison on that count, as on that count.
In the next 5 years, Farmer did his time, tried and failed to get into a college for basketball, and became the famous bruh meme of the internet. Number 7. Keandria Cook. Perhaps more impactful than this teen's reaction is her mother's clearly broken heart after hearing her sentence. This young teen was sentenced to 20 years after a carjacking went awry. Keandra tricked a 27-year-old Palm Coast man to meet her to supposedly sell her drugs. The man showed up with a friend, and they moved to where Cook's boyfriend attempted to rob the men, shooting them in the process and wounding one of the men. As the teen stands in front of the judge weeping, her mother collapses, hearing that her baby daughter, just old enough to vote, will be behind bars for longer than she's been alive. Number 6. Anthony Allen. Some teenage convicts choose to have outbursts, while others pucker up their lips and show no fear. But there's nothing quite as organized as reading a prepared FU statement. That's what Anthony Allen chose to do after he was sentenced to 25 years to life for beating a group home worker to death. In his statement, he denied having committed the crime and called the judge unprofessional, saying she didn't deserve the title honorable before her name.
You disgraced the title honorable, and you don't deserve to have it in front of your name.
Shortly after, the very same judge called him a monster that she had rarely encountered before. It's easy to see why his lawyers had advised him against reading the statement. Number 5. Andrew Worth. Our number 5 reaction isn't even exactly about the sentencing he got. Sure, this convict definitely committed a hard crime and would likely receive an equally hard sentence. What Andrew Worth heard was the bail set for him after killing an off-duty police officer and his partner at a local bar in Wisconsin. The incident happened during a bar brawl in the small town of Jefferson. During his bail hearing, Worth was flipped onto the table after an outburst. Why? Well, his bail was set at $1 million. After the incident, a swarm of officers surround him, holding him down, taking him down to the ground and out a side door where, if you pay attention, right before it shuts, you can hear him get tased. Number 4. Amanda Sperduti. Number 4 on our list is a bit sad, but only because 2 people lost their lives due to drunk driving. Her alcohol level after the lethal accident was over twice the legal limit. The judge, sad to see a bad decision end up in jail time for a young woman, told her she was a classic case of bad choices. She was driving at 90 miles per hour, which resulted in people being thrown out of the car. In the end, 3 people ages 23 and 18 died.
I suffer from this every single day of my life.
She was led away by officers as she cried, shouting words of love to her mother, who was crushed by the sentence. In the end, she received 7 years in prison. Number 3. Shondell Jackson. This one is more about the reaction that the court officers have towards the convict than about the man who was sentenced himself. For context, the man in the video is a 19-year-old man who was convicted for killing and robbing a 21-year-old student. He showed no remorse. He was hostile and cold about what he did. He smiled at one point when the victim's family was being shown out. Does that merit him being pepper sprayed? I'm not sure. The thing is, he got what he deserved. A life sentence, no parole. Number 2. Teen abuses child. The way this man sobs, you almost want to feel sorry for him. But then you realize he abused a child to death, and you quickly get over it. It hardly matters that he sobs as he's charged with murder, holding his hands to his face, wiping his eyes. He may shake his head now, but it's too late. It may have been too late even before he was given a life sentence.
So the first count is called felony murder, life without parole.
He already had a juvenile record that went back for years, and his life had clearly been on a downhill spiral for too long. He seemed to not have any future at all, and the judge just confirmed it by securing his stay in the big house. Number 1. Ann Arbor teen smiles during sentencing. This behavior was so unnerving that the judge even considered stopping the entire process and moving it to a full-blown trial. I'm not surprised either, because laughter as the mother of your victim gives testimony is just not a natural reaction. Perhaps the teen is just insecure, or maybe his brain chemistry is all screwed up. Regardless, this reaction is one of the most difficult to take lightly because it's so inhumane. You could see him playing on a high school football team, his parents picking him up from school, his hands reaching out to accept his diploma. Instead, we actually see him take his crime all too lightly as the world crumbles around him. We're used to seeing people distraught, but smiling? That's just weird. Thanks for watching. Do you believe these harsh sentences were justified? Let us know in the comments section below. Remember, before you go, to subscribe, click the bell, share this video with everyone you know, and sentence us to a thumbs up for this video.